Hello everyone, how are you all? I am Mrs. Divya Divedi. Welcome you all in your science class. So children, let's start lesson 8, cell, structure and function. You have already learned that things around us are either living or non-living. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out certain basic functions. Different sets of organs perform the various functions like stomach, kidney, heart, brain. They all are the organs and they perform different functions. In this chapter, we will learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, which is cell. Cell. Children, cell is the structural and functional unit of the body. Before explaining why we call the cell as structural and functional unit of the body, I would like to tell you about the discovery of the cell. Actually, the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Observed a slice of cork under a simple magnifying device. Cork is a part of the bark of a tree. He took thin slice of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partition boxes or compartments in the cork slice. These boxes appeared like a honeycomb. He also noticed that one box was separated from the other by a wall or partition. Hooke coined the term cells for each box. Cell is a Latin word which means room. That's why Robert Hooke named cell. So, the discovery of cell was done by Robert Hooke. That's why he is called the father of cytology. After the discovery of improved microscope, Anton von Leeuwenhoek discovered the cell in living organism in 1674. Cell. Children, you can compare the cell to the bricks of buildings. As bricks are assembled to make a building, similarly, cells are assembled to make the body of every organism. Cells can be compared to the bricks of building. As bricks assembled to make a building, same way cells are the building blocks of the body. Cell is the structural and functional unit of the body. Every living organism, however big or small, is made up of cell. Similar cells together form tissue. Tissue aggregate to form an organ. Organ aggregate to form organ system. For example, epithelial tissues, muscular tissues and glandular tissues form organ like stomach. Different organ like intestine and stomach form organ system. Example, the body of human being consists of digestive system, excretory system, respiratory system, integumentary system and lymphatic system. This way, the tiny cell form the complex body of an organism. That's why the cell is called the structural unit of the body. Next topic is cell number, shape and size. There are millions of living organisms. They are of different shapes and size. Their organs also vary in shape, size and number of cells. On the basis of cell number, organisms are divided into two types: unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are the organisms whose body is made up of only one cell. Example, amoeba and paramecium. The body of multicellular organisms are made up of many cells. The examples are plants and animals. Similar functions in multicellular organisms are carried out by groups of specialized cells forming different tissues. Tissues in turn form organs. Organs form organ system, and organ system form the whole body of an organism. Next topic is variety in cell number, shape and size. There are millions of living organisms on the earth. However, all living organisms are different from each other in many aspects. For example, they are different in shape and size. Not only organisms vary in shape and size, the cells of different organisms too vary in terms of number, shape and size according to their functions. For this, let's compare a single-celled amoeba to a human being whose body is made up of millions of cells. Organisms that are made of only one cell are called unicellular organisms. A unicellular organism performs all the important life processes using only one cell. Examples of unicellular organisms are Paramecium euglena. Organisms that are made of more than one cell are called multicellular organisms. A multicellular organism has a specialized organ system to perform the different life processes. Examples of multicellular organisms are dog, cat. Amoeba and human beings are differ in cell number. The cells of different organisms not only differ in number but also differ in their shapes. Cell membrane provide the shape of cell. Cell may be round in shape like fat cell. They can also be spherical in shape, example red blood cells. Muscle cells are of spindle shape, which are pointed at both ends, whereas the nerve cells are long and branched. Thus, different cells have different shapes according to the functions performed by them. Next we study about size of the cell. The size of the cells in living organisms may be as small as a millionth of a meter or may be as large as few micrometer. However, most of the cells are microscopic in size and are not visible to the unaided eyes. They need to be enlarged or magnified by a microscope. The smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer in bacteria. The largest cell measuring 170 mm into 130 mm is the egg of an ostrich. The size of the cells has no relation with the size of the body of the animal or plant. It is not necessary that the cells in the elephant be much bigger than those in a rat. Size of the cell is related to the functions performed by them. For example, nerve cells both in elephant and rat are long and branched. They perform the same functions, that of transferring messages. The nerve cells receives and transfer messages, thereby helping to control and coordinate the working of different parts of the body. Thus, children, you have learned that how tiny cells aggregate to form tissues. Tissues aggregate to form organ. an organ aggregate to form organ system. Number of organ system together form a body. Even a single cell performed its specialized functions. Cell theory says the activity performed by a body is actually the sum of activities performed by all the cells in the body. That's why cell is called a structural and functional unit of the body. Thus, you have learned, children, that a single-celled organisms can also perform all the functions performed by a body of multicellular organisms. Amoeba can move from one place to another. It can capture food, digest, and excrete gases. Amoeba has irregular shape. It keeps on changing its shapes. Observe the projections of varying length coming out of its body. These are called pseudopodia. A white blood cell in human body is another example of single cell which can change its shapes. But while WBC is a cell, amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. So children, in this module you have learned what is cell. Who discovered the cell means discovery of the cell, the types of organisms on the basis of the number of the cell in their body, and size and shape of the cell. In next part of the video, we will learn about the structure of the cell and also its functions. That's all for today, children. Have a nice day.